Welcome back to America's Commercial Real Estate Show. I'm Michael Bull. Today we're talking about the office market. And this segment is brought to you by RealCrowd. Did you know that you can invest in large commercial real estate projects with small amounts of money with experienced sponsors? Visit realcrowd.com. Well, like I said, we're talking about the office market. And you can't talk about the office market and the importance of it without talking about the users, the companies renting the space, and how they use technology to make the space more efficient, how they use technology for their employees to be more productive. Well, we have an expert here with us in Studio One. Please welcome Dylan McCrory. He's Senior VP of Solutions, and he's also a partner with SiteREADY. Thanks for joining us, Dylan.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Well, so, I think one of the things when we think about technology for our space today, what a changing world. I mean, so first of all, if we are moving into new space or we're helping someone with that process, how, first of all, you think about what technology do you need and not need, and how do you make these choices?
Yeah, there's very much a consultative approach that needs to happen, really getting into speaking with actually stakeholders who are going to be using the space and occupying it and understanding how they work, the types of technologies they're using currently, what they would like to be able to use from a tool standpoint, and really creating a program, if you will, for the technology that's going to go into their space so that you can, make sure you're choosing the right product sets and stuff like that. Yeah,
and I used to, we've done office tenant rep for a long time in my firm here in Atlanta, and it seems like in the old days there was a lot of wiring.
Yeah.
There was a lot of things coming in and being wired. How much of the pre-wiring of actual wire running do you have today?
You still have a fair amount of a need for actual hardwired connectivity. More and more people are moving away from the sole reliance on being hardwired, with obviously the increases in wireless technology. And I saw an article the other day about even wireless over the light, which is a new concept that'll come to us towards the next 10 years or so.
Through the light fixtures?
Yep, through LED.
Yeah.
It's a new technology that's being developed, but it's still off in the distance. But yeah, wireless technology is something that everybody's interested in, obviously, because of the mobility factor that people are trying to achieve in what they call the office of the future. Everyone wants this open office architecture where people can work in different types of environments and things like that, and get together as teams and collaborate. And anytime you can provide that without being tethered to a desk, you're really moving in the right direction, from a technology standpoint.
And you're also seeing technology, and you guys involved in this, where you kind of come and reserve a room, or you reserve a quiet room or a conference room?
Yep. Yeah, room reservation is also another big tool companies are using to be able to manage their space, right? So, statistically, you could go out there and find, the way that conference rooms historically have been used, they're very sparse based upon the percentage of the overall square footage of a space that they take up. So in using big data and analytics and things like that, a lot of the more advanced corporate real estate departments have moved towards creating smaller spaces and making them reservable on a touch and go basis through this room reservation technology that's out there and available now.
Yeah. One of the things I find interesting about technology in the commercial real estate space today is the cost. A lot of the cost has come down. So what are some things that maybe we can afford in our space today that maybe a few years ago was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. We as a firm really push the commoditization of technology to our clients. We feel that most technology solutions out there that are available commercially, there's no real next best product in that particular instance. So we're always trying to get our clients to focus on function as opposed to really going out there and spending the most money that they possibly could, because you need to be able to put that money to work in other areas of your business. And the price of technology as a whole is coming down, but every day a new technology hits the market, making what you bought potentially a year ago almost obsolete. So, we really are trying to help our clients think hard about the way that they're spending money. And, frankly, like I mentioned, the way technology continues to to evolve, there's a very high potential that whatever you bought or put into your space the last time you built it out isn't the latest and greatest anymore.
Yeah, I see that every day. It's like my manager will come to me and say, "Oh, Michael, we've got to replace this technology and this technology and this computer." I'm like, "Wait a minute, it seems like I just bought that."
Right.
He said,
right.
"No, that's a paperweight now."
Yeah.
So there's a lot of challenges I think that people have in their office environments, and some of them are kind of changing today with more people and less space in these open environments. And one of those is sound issues.
Yeah.
Is there some technology today to kind of help with that?
Yeah. There's definitely technologies that have been out there for a while. Some people call it sound masking or white noise. It emits a low frequency noise that's somewhat unintelligible to the human ear, but the way the science works, the sound hits your ear before the level of acoustics that the human voice carries, so it occupies your ear, and your ear can only hear so much at once, so it kind of drowns out the background noise. And a lot of people are using that nowadays with the way that offices are being designed and kind of these open floor plans to drown out some of the background noise that can be heard when people are talking around you.
Now, how about technology for wellness? What do you see new there?
Yeah, wellness is a big factor for sure. I mean, everybody's always interested in understanding how they can create this wellness factor in their space, and some of that has to do with the Internet of Things and making sure that you're getting enough good sunlight into the space and things of that nature, and you can control the blinds based upon the where the sun's at in the in the sky and things like that, so you're getting more light into the space when at optimal times during the day. So technology and wellness haven't totally gotten to the point where they've met each other yet, but it's definitely coming.
What kind of technology in our space, Dylan, might we not think about? What's some of the latest things that people are looking at and doing?
That's a good question. I think, from the standpoint of mobility, there are lots of different ways that you can create mobility and collaboration and things like that. There aren't very many people who have really looked into truly interesting ways of creating a visual connection between people that's not in a physical setting in another room you go to. So there's this idea of video conferencing and collaboration where you have to pick yourself up and go into a different space as opposed to when that comes to you. There are different ways now where that type of technology, that type of functionality, with the improvements in wireless systems and things like that, can operate over wireless platforms, so it doesn't need to be tethered to a physical space that you have to go into. So the video conferencing function can come to you as opposed to you having to go to it. And you don't see very many people thinking about it in that particular way. But it's another way to, again, optimize the way you're using your space.
Yeah, well, that's interesting, and I think more and more people are, as they get used to technology, you're emailing things and you're using these online systems to communicate, and there's nothing like that face-to-face, hey, let's talk through something and actually get it done and be efficient. So, that makes a lot of sense. What about cost savings? What are some tips for office users or owners of office buildings that are helping tenants to save cost?
Yeah, again, I go back to the commoditization of technology. We hear a lot of times from people that, hey, we have to use this product or we have to use this manufacturer or installer because we have some type of proprietary technology system that's out there. And I always challenge people on that because there are very few things out there that are widely used across office space throughout the country that are truly unique and uncommoditized. So from our standpoint, we're always trying to push cost savings as much as we can for our clients, and that even goes all the way back up to where is the product manufactured, right? And controlling the markup that gets put on product from all the way down the supply chain, from the manufacturer to the distributor to the installer of whatever that technology is, and you can create and find significant cost savings along that supply chain. And that's kind of the level of depth that we always try to go into and get people to really understand when they're building out a space and that there's a significant technology component.
Yeah. So I guess it's important then to get you guys at SiteREADY involved early. And so are you guys engaged by the tenant reps, the building owners, or the corporate leaders that know they're going to need space? Who brings you guys in at SiteREADY?
No, that's a great point. We always like to say we want to be engaged as early as possible, right? To get technology a seat at the table.
You sound like my girlfriend. That's what she says. I'm married. Never mind. That's a joke.
Yeah, we always want to get technology to the table as soon as possible. So when architects are starting to put together schematic design for a space, that's always when we like to be involved. Sometimes that doesn't always happen when a company's doing a one-off space and we get engaged to help them. Kind of along the process when they realize, we really need, we want to have a large technology component to this. And then a lot of our clients are what we call portfolio clients, where we go market to market with them around the country. And we help them actually come up with a program, a technology program, in the same way that they would build a space program with their architect, to help them understand, the types of technologies they're using in each space, what the cost for those technologies could be, so that it's a much more plug-and-play feel, and they can tighten their budget down for what the cost could be for any one particular type of space based upon how they're going to program it.
Yeah. One more question for you, and that involves phone connections, because I see some of tenants that we rep, and they don't even have phones. They're all using their cell phones, and then some companies obviously have salespeople who are in and out of the space. They're going in the parking decks, they're coming up the elevators. How important is that coverage, and how are you guys handling that?
Yeah, I mean, the way that people operate from a telephone standpoint is different for everybody. Some people are still tethered to their desk with their phone, and that's fine. Some people operate in a voice over IP environment where their phone is running over the same internet connection that their computer is. There are lots of companies who are out there on the cutting edge of technology that are going to soft phone now, where their phone exists as a software tool on their computer, and they have a headset that connects via Bluetooth to their computer. And then some companies are doing away with corporate phones completely and having people operate off of company-provided cell phones and things like that. And in those particular instances, you have to go in and make sure the building you're going into has an adequate distributed antenna system that's compatible with whoever your service provider is. And
because a lot of times you go in an elevator and you get dropped. And you're like, so now you're standing out in front of the building, and you're not going in.
Yep. Yeah, no, that's very much important, especially in those situations where people are relying on their cell phones for telephone connectivity. And it's definitely something we pay attention to all the time.
Yeah. So your website is SiteREADY?
SiteREADY.com, yeah.
Okay. Well, excellent. Well, thanks for joining us today. Great information.
Thank you for having me.
And thanks for joining us here on America's Commercial Real Estate Show. Stay with us. We'll have more on office sector. I'm Michael Bull. This is America's Commercial Real Estate Show.